Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. Let me check if my audio is good. Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. Let me check if my audio is good. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I had to redo this live. All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I had to redo this live. Okay. Audio is good. Mic check. Mic check. All right. Come on in. Come on in, people. Wherever you are watching me from. All right, let's get into it. If you are joining me live, take a deep breath. I was here before, but the audio was really bad, so I had to come and redo it. So this is one of the conversations that sits heavy on the chest. It really does. Tonight is not about rage bait. No, it's not about politics. It's not about taking easy sides. This is about power. It's about fear. It's about womanhood and what happens when systems collide with human instinct. Okay? So thank you for being here. And I just want to ask you one question. And I want you to sit with that question. How many times as a woman have you softened your voice, slowed your movement, explained yourself carefully just to make sure that a man or whoever is listening to you didn't feel threatened? It's just a question I want to ask, because on January 7th, 2026, a woman did exactly that and she did not make it home. Her name was Renee Nicole Good. That was the woman's name. And I want us to ground ourselves. Come on in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I want us to ground ourselves in facts first. And no emotions, just truth. Okay, let's think critically about this, because this woman, Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old U.S. citizen and a Minneapolis resident, was shot and a life was taken by an agent of the U.S. Immigration Custom Enforcement during federal enforcement operations in South Minneapolis. This woman just dropped a 6-year-old child. She was driving, I think it was a maroon Honda pilot vehicle. She was within her home, few blocks from her home. There were multiple videos, multiple body cams, cell phone, bystander footage that shows us what happened next. Okay? What happened next was the agents, approached her vehicle. They ordered her to come out of the vehicle. And one agent stood in front of the car. And in the video, this woman sounds calm. In the video that I saw, she sounds calm. She says, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you." Okay? And moments later, as her vehicle moved, 3 shots were fired at this woman. This woman lost her life. Her car, rolled over and it crashed. Let's watch this. Okay, this video is from CBS, and let's watch what happened. They have the video.
This morning after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman. And we have to give you a warning here. The video you're about to see is graphic. You'll see an ICE agent stopping a red SUV yesterday. One tries to open the car door. The driver reverses and then pulls away. This is the ICE agent approaching the vehicle. There's the vehicle reversing. Now, the officer on the other side of the car, as the SUV pulls away, opens fire. The SUV then slams into a parked car.
Let's watch that
Official
again.
agent stopping a red SUV yesterday. And we have to give you a warning here. The video you're about to see is graphic. You'll see an ICE agent stopping a red SUV yesterday. One tries to open the car door. The driver reverses and then pulls away. This is the ICE agent approaching the vehicle. There's the vehicle reversing. Now, the officer on the other side of the car, as the SUV pulls away.
So my interpretation of this is fear. That's my interpretation. No, no, no. And she's trying to drive away. And then what we see is pwa. Okay, let's keep watching.
Opens fire. The SUV then slams into a parked car. Officials say the woman killed was a U.S. citizen and not a target of the ICE operation. The White House is calling the shooting an act of self-defense against what they describe as domestic terrorism. But the Minneapolis mayor strongly rejected those claims during a news conference.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense.
Okay, so that was what happened. We just watched what happened, okay? Now, who shot? Now this matters. This question I just asked, I said, who shot? Who shot the woman? This matters because accountability starts with clarity. Okay? Accountability starts with clarity. We need to get clarity. The agent has been widely identified by court records and a lot of reporting as Jonathan Ross. He is a veteran ICE agent, assigned to the enforcement and removal operations. You know, he's part of the special team, okay? And federal officials have not formally released his name, but multiple outlets have confirmed it. There are two different stories. We have the federal version story, where they say the Department of Homeland Security under Kristi Noem, she claims that Renee attempted to ram an ICE officer with her SUV. Now, they argue that the vehicle can be a deadly weapon. And I don't know how that vehicle is a deadly weapon. The officer perceived an imminent threat. That woman, I do not think, was an imminent threat. They said because of that the deadly force is justified. Again, from the federal side, they have echoed that this narrative is what it is. What the Kristi Noem said is that, okay, yeah, that this is justified. That is what the top people are saying. And they are going as far as labeling her as a domestic terror. So they are saying the action is termed as domestic terrorism. Okay? Let's pause for a while and let's sit with that. Now, the local leaders are saying, this is not what, we don't agree with that. So Jacob Frey and the mayor of Minneapolis and Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, they are saying the footage does not in any way show clearly that Renee was trying to strike the officer. A lot of people, video analysts, are arguing that the movement looks like an attempt to leave, not an attempt to attack, which I agree with, because there was absolutely no clear contact with an officer. Nothing was visible. Okay? One officer was heard shouting profanities after the shooting. It's crazy. Let's continue watching. Let's continue watching the video. Let me go ahead and,
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly,
This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents. An act.
That's so wrong, ma'am. That's so wrong. And this is a woman. Where has your empathy gone? Put yourself in this woman's shoe, ma'am.
Of domestic terrorism. Our officer followed his training, appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly,
This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents. An act of domestic terrorism. Our officer followed his training, did exactly what he's been taught to do in that situation, and took actions to defend himself.
Now, the FBI and state officials are investigating the shooting. CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel pressed President Trump's border czar, that's Tom Homan, last night on whether ICE was acting with excessive force.
I'm not going to make a judgment call on one video when there's 100 videos out there. I wasn't on the scene. I'm not an officer that may have body cam video. I have not seen ICE act outside of policy. And if they are acting outside of policy, I'm not aware of it, there'll be an investigation that will be held accountable.
CBS News correspondent Usher Qureshi is in Minneapolis and can provide more on this story. Good morning, Usher. What happened exactly, specifically before the footage that we just witnessed?
Good morning, Errol. Well, what you can see happening is that the vehicle was parked. It was sideways in the roadway, partially blocking, it appears, the roadway. You do see the driver passing, putting their hand out the window and asking people to continue to pass the line. At least twice we saw it. And one car passes before an agent gets out of a vehicle, walks up to this person's car and tries to open the door before she reverses and then starts to drive forward. And as she's driving forward, another agent is seen at the front end of that vehicle opening fire. And as she pulls past him, he continues to fire. And then she crashes into a vehicle a short while down the road.
And what do we know about the victim and the ICE agent involved, Usher?
Well, the victim has been identified as a 37-year-old. Her name is Renee Good. She was a U.S. citizen. City leaders say that she was a legal observer monitoring federal activity. At the time, she was not the target of any ICE arrest. Now, as we mentioned, she was shot in that first incident right there when she was driving. She was shot in the head. She was taken to Hennepin County Medical Center where she was pronounced dead. As far as the ICE agent that is involved in this situation, he has not been publicly named, Errol, and two federal sources tell CBS News that he's part of an ICE enforcement and removal operations team. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the agent was also taken to the hospital and then released.
We heard from the border czar, Tom Homan, in saying that he needs to see more footage. He's not exactly ready yet to determine if this was a use of excessive force, but local officials seem to have seen enough already. How are they reacting to this?
Right, absolutely. As we've heard from Mayor Frey, as we've heard from Governor Walz, Mayor Frey says, don't believe this, what's being presented here. They don't believe that there was an imminent threat in that video. Governor Tim Walz, as you mentioned, has said that this is propaganda. They say that what's happened here is clear, that vehicle was not being weaponized. This was a citizen who was trying to leave the area, and that the use of force was unnecessary and beyond what was reasonable.
Exactly.
All right, Usher Qureshi live for us there in Minneapolis. Usher, thank you. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand joins us from the White House with more on this. Natalie, what is the reaction from the administration to this shooting death?
Good morning, Errol. We're learning some new reaction from the president himself in a new interview with the New York Times. He called it a terrible situation, but argued that the woman was at fault. In one quote, he said, "I want to see nobody get shot. I want to see nobody screaming and trying to run over policemen either." Now, his comments echoed what he had also posted on social media, saying that he viewed a clip of the incident and alleges the woman, quote, violently and willfully ran over the ICE officer, who he said seems to have shot her in self-defense. He says the situation is being studied in its entirety, but blamed the radical left for threatening and targeting law enforcement and ICE officers. Now, Minnesota's Democratic senators are pushing back. Senator Amy Klobuchar called this the result of the administration sending federal agents into the streets against the wishes of local law enforcement. She also said she's deeply concerned that the statements made by DHS do not appear to reflect video evidence and on-the-ground accounts. Senator Tina Smith, speaking to reporters, also said she says it's hard to see, in her view, the evidence in the video that the woman rammed ICE agents, and she called for ICE to leave the state. Take a listen.
I wish they would just leave us. I mean, seriously. When do things stop being about politics and start being about actual human decency?
She just said it. Humanity is gone. Humanity as we know it is gone. Gone, gone, gone. Everything is now about politics.
And so, I mean, I'm sure we can all hypothesize on what all of their political reasons are. But meanwhile, a woman died being shot in her car. And everything that they're doing is making it worse and not better.
You can hear the emotion in her voice. There's also a sharp divide between the state's Democrats and Republicans. Minnesota Republican Tom Emmer, the House Majority Whip, in a statement in part criticized elected officials who he said endangered ICE agents with, quote, hateful rhetoric. Now, the senators, they're calling for transparency and say they support the investigation by both federal and state authorities, Errol.
All right, Natalie Brand with the latest there. Thank you very much. We now want to bring in attorney and legal analyst Joe Tamburino just to look at the legal implications here. Joe, good morning.
Before we go any further, okay, I want to say that we need to humanize this woman. Let's humanize her because she was not a headline. She was a mother of three. She was a human being. This was a human being. A mother of three. She was a wife. She was a writer. She was a poet. She was a community-oriented woman. She was married to her wife, Becca Good. And her wife said they were simply supporting neighbors and felt overwhelmed by the heavily armed presence. Renee was not a target. She wasn't. She was not armed. She was not fleeing a crime. She was not. This is a woman like you and I. Now let's talk as women. Let's talk as women. In that video, what I saw was a woman in fear. Okay? Women are actually trained to de-escalate. Women are trained to de-escalate. Let's watch this before I go any further. Let's watch this video before I go any further. We are actually designed to de-escalate. Let's watch this.
The ICE agent who shot Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. Jonathan Ross's footage, which was obtained by Alpha News, offers a whole new perspective on the deadly encounter, revealing Renee's wife Rebecca antagonizing ICE agents just moments before Renee peeled off, clipping the agent, prompting him to open fire.
Go ahead. Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
The new first-person clip comes as various angles of the incident have been analyzed by Americans around the country, dividing the as to whom to blame. Viral video filmed by a witness that spread across social media soon after the shooting captured Good's SUV idling across a residential street where ICE agents were conducting an immigration operation. An officer approached her door and ordered her out. She reversed briefly, then began to drive while turning to her right, prompting the agent, since identified as Ross, to jump out of the way and fire 3 shots into the windshield and then the window as it passed. Other surveillance video obtained by CNN also captured the moment leading up to Good's death, showing her plum-colored SUV pulling into frame and then letting out a passenger before making a turn perpendicular to the street, seemingly in an attempt to block traffic on the road where ICE had been operating. While protests have erupted across the nation, according to the Trump administration, there should be no question as to who is at fault. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the officer, a 10-year veteran of the agency, had acted in self-defense and was justified in opening fire, and that...
Seriously? Self-defense? Was that woman a threat? She was just trying to leave. Let's keep watching.
Good was part of a mob of agitators attempting to thwart ICE's efforts in enforcing President Trump's immigration crackdown. Vice President Vance firmly echoed that message in a press briefing on Thursday, January 8th.
The reason this woman is dead is because she tried to ram somebody with her car, and that guy acted in self-defense. That is why she lost her life, and that is the tragedy.
In any case, the shooting poured gasoline on the long, smoldering tensions between federal immigration agents and protesters who have fought back, at times violently, against the presence of agencies like ICE enforcing the law in their community.
And she was saying, she was like, hey, I don't have any issues with you guys. I don't have any issues with you. Okay? So she was trying to leave. That's what I saw. Okay? Women are trained to de-escalate. We soften our voice. We reassure. We say, I am not mad. You heard? She said that. She said that sentence we've all said at some point. She said, I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset. But that did not save her. When danger showed up, and as a woman, when danger shows up and your child exists in the world, your instinct will take over. It will ask you, do I freeze? Do I leave? Do I protect myself so I can make it back? So I can make it back to my child or my children. Movement for women is often survival. Yes. Was she right in everything? No. But in that video, I saw someone that was afraid when those people came to meet her. Okay? In this system, movement becomes aggressive. But movement for women is often seen as survival. Okay? Now let's talk about power, because that's what this channel is all about. We have armed federal agents, state backing, military training. We also have one woman, one vehicle, no weapon, and still, grace was not extended to this woman. Calling a mother, a woman, calling a mother's panic, a woman's panic, domestic terrorism is out of this world for me. What does it do? It erases humanity. It hardens public sympathy. And it tells you and I that if you misjudge fear, you may not survive it. You may not survive it. With that being said, I want us to look at things from an objective standpoint. So I'm going to be doing a for and against all the parties involved. Okay? Now, the vehicle in this situation is legally considered potential deadly weapon, right? Officers act on perceived threat, not hindsight. Split-second decisions are protected under current law. If fear is genuine, then legal justification must definitely exist. Now, this is why charges are rare. Okay, on the side of the ICE agent. Now let's flip it and look at it against the ICE agent. Now, with all that being said, that video does not show clear intent to harm. The officer positioned themselves dangerously, in my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Okay? There was no way the woman was trying to cause harm. No, in my opinion. And as a trained officer, you need to look at de-escalation options because they do exist. But this was not done by any of all those officers. All they did was they wanted to attack. Okay? And there was no tactical design. If there was any tactical design to de-escalate, it failed. And public trust has long gone been destroyed. Now, the fact that something is legal doesn't mean it is wise. Okay? They are saying, oh, if you legally do this, this is legal. So therefore, I even heard of some people saying that the agent has diplomatic immunity. And I'm like, wow, tell me something. But let's look at the case for Renee Good. Okay? That woman was not the target. The fact that she panicked is just her being human. And what we see there is an attempt to leave, not an attempt to harm. But she paid with her life. Now, let's also look at the hard truths, because there are hard truths against Renee. And this part is going to be uncomfortable, but it is also necessary that we talk about it. Vehicle movement near officers is inherently dangerous. Okay? Now, non-compliance, if they say stop and you don't stop, it escalates encounters instantly based on history, based on the things that we have seen. Okay? So there's some things that are against her. You trying to explain is not blame. And systems don't interpret a lot of things well. She should have just left. She should have, I don't know what she should have done, but I don't even see anything against her. Honestly, because that woman was not in anybody's arm's way. She was not, she was trying to leave. Are we now trying to say that there's no freedom of opinions anymore? Fine, she was on the road. Yes. She was on the road. Yes. She was not parked properly on the road. Yes. She was obstructing traffic. Yes. But that does not mean that she should be shot at. That was not enough reason for her to be shot at. She was running her mouth. Yes, but that was not enough reason for her to be shot at. Did she have a weapon? No. She only said, oh, you need to go get lunch or something. Whatever she said. The real issue here is system failure. That's the real issue. This was not one bad situation. This was a system that failed. This was aggressive federal tactics. Militarized presence. This was poor communication. There was poor communication on all sides. And there was fear on both sides. Fear on both sides. But to whom much is given, much is expected. I expected that the trained officer, seeing that the woman was afraid, or the trained officers, seeing that the woman was afraid, they should have done something different rather than being trigger happy. Why I'm saying this is because we have seen clearly that fear plus power is lethal. And that's what happened here. Okay? officer was afraid because we heard that something similar had happened to him, like it was dragged some time ago on the ground, but that was not enough for you to put fire on somebody that was not a threat to you. To whom much is given, much is expected. The person with the higher power is expected to have the most restraint. But no, that's not what we are seeing here. And there are a lot of lessons that we must learn from this. Okay? Power without trust creates chaos. All right? Vehicles will definitely... Give me one moment, guys. Okay? Power without... I'm just trying to get my notes. Power without trust creates chaos. We have seen it play out in this case. We have seen it. She didn't trust them. They had power. She didn't trust them. And that was where all this chaos happened. He also did not trust her. But really, that woman was not in any form or way trying to bring harm. Okay? Another thing that we have learned here is that vehicles or cars escalate situations immediately. It does. Whether we like it or not, it does. But that was not enough for them to take that woman's life. It was not enough for them to take that woman's life. Another lesson we need to take from here is the fact that something is legal does not mean it's moral. The fact that something is legal does not mean it's right. Okay? And there was no form of de-escalation in this matter. No form of de-escalation whatsoever from the side of the people that had the most power. And even if it must come, it has to be structural. There was no structure, no nothing. They just took that woman's life for nothing. Just because they had the power to. This is a woman that was exercising her power to speak. She was speaking out against something that was wrong, but she lost her life. Another lesson we can learn here is being put together does not mean being dumb. Okay? Now, another thing I want us to understand is that fear is predictable. We need to plan for fear. The ICE agents themselves, they should have planned for fear because you are in a position of power, right? And you should put yourself in other people's shoes. You should expect that people will be afraid of you and plan for what they would do in the time of fear. Plan for it. As a trained officer, you are supposed to plan for what people would do when they are afraid. Is either they want to fight or they want to take a flight. And in that woman's situation, what I saw was a woman trying to take a flight. She was trying to leave. But no, they will not let her because they have power. This is what happens when power is being misused. And that's why I keep saying it, that to whom much is given, that same much is expected. If you have so much more power, then we are asking that you have more restraint. Federal power requires higher accountability. These people have federal power. And in my opinion, we expected them to put that situation under control. But no, that situation was not under control. And what do we see? So many lives have been altered. Okay? Just because of one moment of fear, one moment of you not, how do I call it? One moment of you not being able to have control over your emotions, many lives are destroyed. Okay? Many lives. People are grieving. Now, we don't know what's going to happen to the agent, but this is a woman. A woman has lost her life, and her children are going to be motherless, because reports reaching us says that they also lost their father at some point, before now. So those children that Renee left behind, they are now orphans. Orphans. All because some people could not, control themselves. Let me know in the comments section which of these lessons spoke to you. What are your thoughts concerning this? This woman, Renee Good, should have been alive. Now, this is not about us choosing sides. This is about us refusing to normalize people just passing like that. This could have been avoided. That woman should have been alive. Her child should have been picked up from school. Her humanity should not be deleted or debated in any form. You standing in your power means demanding systems that protect humanity, that protect women, that protect men, that protect children, and not punish fear. What I saw in this video was fear being punished. She wanted to leave. She wanted to run away. She was afraid of what you would do to her. But then her fear was rewarded with punishment. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. This is sad. If this conversation moved you, share it. Let's hear what's on your mind, and please do share it respectfully. If you're a woman who has ever felt unsafe while doing something you believe or something you feel is right, comment "I see you" in the comment section. And if you believe that accountability and humanity can coexist, please do stay here with me, because that's what I believe. You can hold people accountable and still be human about it. If Renee had crossed the line, she should have been held accountable, but not at the detriment of her being deleted from this world. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thank you guys for being here. We have 6 people. If you are just joining us, we've been speaking about Renee Good versus ICE. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this matter? That woman deserved to still be here. She deserved to still be here. Let me check what people are saying. Let me look at TikTok and see what other people are saying. Renee Good deserved to still be here. Do you agree with that? Do you think that accountability and humanity can still coexist? Do you think that accountability and humanity can still coexist? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. And at this point, I just want us to look at what people are saying concerning this. If you want to hear what I have said, go back and watch the replay. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see what people are saying on TikTok. Let's watch what people are talking about. Let's watch people's reactions. How are people reacting to this?
Just released some previously unseen cell phone video that was taken by the ICE agent who fired those fatal shots at Renee Nicole Good earlier this week in Minneapolis. It also shows a brief interaction between Good's wife, who was her passenger, and then a third person who was recording the video. And at this part, you can actually see his reflection as he walks around the maroon Honda SUV. In the video, it's now revealed that Good's dog was actually in the back seat of that car while this whole incident was happening.
Wow.
And Good, at one point, seems to actually be talking to the officer through the window.
It's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
So by then, Good's wife had exited the vehicle and she's now recording this on her cell phone. And she says this.
That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us?
So she then gets back into the car. The person who was recording the clip had moved then to the front of the vehicle and was then facing the driver's side. That's when we see this video kind of jerk away as the car moves. Vice President JD Vance posted this video on X with a comment sort of repeating his claim that the officer's life was, quote, endangered and that he fired in self-defense. The White House Rapid Response Team also reshared this post, and our team at CBS News confirmed they verified the authenticity of this video. Just released some previously unseen.
When my neighbor says, I recognize her, that's Renee screaming, that sends chills down my spine.
Renee Nicole Good was a 37-year-old U.S. citizen and mother of 3 who moved to Minnesota just last year. According to the AP, Good described herself on social media accounts as a poet and writer. Her ex-husband told the AP she had just dropped her 6-year-old off at school and was driving home with her current partner when they encountered a group of ICE agents. Not long after that, Good was shot and killed by one of those agents. Her partner was nearby. The ex-husband asked the AP not to be named for the safety of their children. CNN has also reached out to her family. Her mother told the Minnesota Star-Tribune that Renee was, quote, one of the kindest people I've ever known. She was extremely compassionate. While her father told the Washington Post, quote, she was a wonderful person. Good had 2 children, ages 12 and 15, from her first marriage, according to the AP. Her second husband, father to her 6-year-old, died in 2023, according to the Star-Tribune. Her ex-husband said she was a devoted Christian who would go on mission trips to Northern Ireland when she was younger. He also said she loved to sing. Good lived most of her life in Colorado and briefly lived in Kansas with her parents.
A neighbor who, you know, is not a terrorist, not an extremist. That was just a mom who loved her kids, loved her spouse. I'm just devastated for that whole family. When my neighbors...
This is sad. This is sad. So to correct what I said earlier, she had 2 ex-husbands. One passed away. One has passed away, the one who is the father of the 6-year-old, and then the other one who is the father of her first 2 children. He's still alive and he says he doesn't want to be named. It's just so sad. It's so sad. You see the ripple effect of people not using their power rightly.
I'm not mad at you.
Renee Nicole was inside her car, a vehicle belonging to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
So it turns out that Renee Nicole Good was a part of an activist ICE watch group who was trained to resist immigration officers specifically by using their vehicles. And guess where she received this training and found out about this group? Her child's charter school. And this is directly from the New York Post. Good, who moved to the city, Minneapolis, last year, linked up with the anti-ICE activists through her 6-year-old son's charter school, which boasts that it puts social justice first and prioritizes involving kids, in political and social activism. She was a warrior. She died doing what was right. A mother named Lisa, whose child attends the same school, told the Post. So this is Southside Family Charter School, and apparently everyone there thinks that she was doing the absolute right thing by blocking these agents, by going into this area. Now, it's extremely concerning. All of this is extremely concerning, don't get me wrong, but it's especially concerning, meaning that this is a school. They are teaching children. So not only does it seem clear to me they don't understand who ICE is, what their mission statement is, what exactly they're doing in Minneapolis, and they're also not teaching people about the correct way to protest. You have every right as an American citizen to protest anything that you do not like. However, if you want to see change, the real change is from calling your Congress people, getting walls patched. What these officers are doing, they are enforcing the laws that are already on the books. So
I don't know how true this is. I do not think this is correct. Okay, I will have to dig deeper into this to know, exactly if what she's saying is
again,
true.
you're welcome to go and protest outside where it's safe and tell them you don't like what they're doing, but you are not allowed to actually go and try to impede, which apparently is what this activist group that is connected to this school is doing.
Oh, copyright. Copyright, they got me there. I have to mute that. I'm just going to end this video here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I would see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Take what you learned, walk in your truth. Until next time, stand in your power.